Hello everyone and welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. Today, something very aggressive for you. This is Bear Fight Whiskey. Look at this thing. See, we've got like scratches down the side of it and stuff. Little gold medal there, we'll close that up for now. But yeah, this is Bear Fight Whiskey. This is produced by Next Century Spirits in Zebulon in North Carolina. It is an American single malt whiskey. And there are some quite interesting notes on the front of this too. So it's 45% alcohol, it's a 75 milliliter bottle, and on the back you can see, a little focus on that, aged for a minimum of 3 years. So, by all purposes and intentions, this has been a single malt whiskey produced in the Scottish style. This big gold medal thing on the front of it is from the 2021 New York International Spirits Competition. Double gold winner, 96 points. Very respectful score for any product. Some tasting notes on the front. Bear Fight American Single Malt Whiskey, small batch premium release. Now, this brand got in touch with me through the Whisky Wednesday email address, which is always at the bottom. And I don't normally say yes to bottles, because I like to keep things quite balanced, really. I'll say yes to a sample and I'll review it privately, and if I like it, I'll just buy the bottle. But they went, can we send you something? They weren't particularly specific, and I went, yeah, sure. And then this thing arrives all the way from North Carolina. It even had like a FedEx shipping logo with it and everything. So I was quite intrigued, so thank you for sending it all the way from North Carolina, because that is not an easy task to do in the current world of shipping anything. But yeah, it's an American single malt with a really aggressive bear on the front of it, so let's see what happens. This arrived literally the week I came down with COVID. So I tried a little bit of it, but my taste wasn't up to much at that point. I have read the tasting notes, but I'm just going to try and ignore those, and we'll just smell and taste. American single malt, quite an interesting category right now. Westland, probably the most famous one. Woodford have produced a classic malt, or not a single malt as such, but a classic malt. So there's a few, and there's probably loads that I'm missing out, but it is a growing category, and it's nice to see that American distillers are wanting to move into something different. This thing reminds me of like freshly made toast and marmalade. There's some nice kind of breakfasty notes to it. Orange, maybe even grapefruit as well. Kind of bittersweet style. It is leaving, let me see if I can get out of the way. I've not charged this camera, so the battery's quite low, but it is leaving quite a wonderful body on this glass. It looks very oily. Like really oily. There is no statement on the front whether it's non-chill filtered or natural colour. Yeah, grapefruit, orange, like freshly baked bread. There's like a little bit of vanilla and almost like a maple thing. You know when you get like vanilla pods in like a metal tube, it's like a cigar tube, and you smell them and it smells almost more minty and mapley than it does like vanilla. It's almost like that. And there's something savoury in the back which is trying to push through. Reminds me a little bit of like sage or rosemary. It smells a little bit like a lot of independent Craig Ellicky I've had. That was really like bittersweet fruits versus these kind of savoury sweet notes. Let's taste it. Okay, so texturally, there's a nice bit of weight to it. I was worried it might come across as a little bit thin, because the weight was coating the glass just seemed a little bit too good to be true. But there is good weight to it. It feels nice. It tastes a lot like bread. Like there is some big like wholemeal brioche yeasty notes to this. In fact, the finish has got almost like a champagne-like quality. Actual tasting notes: pecan, honeysuckle, ripe red apple, figs, blackcurrant, sweet sherry, and peat smoke. Well, I don't get any peat smoke. It doesn't state if it's peated or not. I don't get any smoke, personally. Why did I wear a hoodie today? This was such a bad idea. Loads of breads, all the bread you could ever want. Yeast, that grapefruit thing is still there. Cannot remember the last time I had a whiskey which tasted like grapefruit. I like grapefruit, so that's quite fun. This sits in a realm of product which is quite easy to drink at 45% alcohol. I have no idea how much this costs per bottle. Oh my god, excuse me. Bready, yeasty, slightly champagne-like, no smoke at all. I'm not sure where they're getting the peat smoke thing from. It reminds me a lot of like the stuff from the Lakes Distillery. They specifically have an orange wine cask, which this does taste a lot like. There's even an element of like quite dry sherry to it, almost like Amontillado. The finish is kind of nutty, like hazelnut and walnuts. Quite dry too. Is that taking? Yeah, it's taking the focus off me. Nutty and dry. This is a really unusual product because I actually don't know if this is available in the UK where I filmed this, but it's certainly made and I assume sold in North Carolina. So folks of North Carolina, is bear smoke available in your area? Or people of America, is bear smoke available in your area? It's fun. I mean, like the marketing for it is just mad, isn't it? Like that logo is just nuts. Let me take myself out of that. Like, how crazy is that thing? Like, you're gonna notice that on a shelf. And I'm not the type of person who buys things on impulse, but if I saw that, I'd be like, oh, wonder what that's about. Especially if I was on holiday or something. But to the nitty and gritty of it all, it's quite a good whiskey. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I'd like more detail on what it's been matured in, what indeed it has been distilled through. Is it a classic pot still? Is it like an amblic still? Is it double distilled? Is it triple distilled? Is it peated? Because you say peat smoke on the front of it. So thank you for sending it, the people of Bear Smoke. Overall, I think I'm going to give that a solid 6.5. It's a good whiskey. It's a young whiskey. It does bat above what I thought it would taste like in flavour. Whatever you put it into this, continue doing, because that grapefruit note is delicious. Maybe rethink the marketing a little bit. That would be my influencer opinion on you. But overall, I think I'm going to give that a 6.5 out of 10. If any of you have tried this, please do feedback to me and let me know what you thought, because it tastes better than I thought it would, and to some, it certainly tastes better than what it looks. Sorry, that must have been really loud. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.